Your divine moment has already begun, not by accident, but by a sacred orchestration far beyond what your human understanding could ever grasp. While time on earth may feel linear and delayed, the clock of heaven operates with precision and intention, bringing every event, every connection, every open and closed door into alignment with the purpose for which you were born. As this moment unfolds, know that nothing about your journey has been random. For even the most painful seasons were chapters in a larger narrative being authored by the Creator of all things, who saw you in your darkest hour and still declared light over your destiny. Now, a supernatural current is carrying you beyond the boundaries that once confined your potential, beyond the limits that once defined your self-image, into a realm of divine provision, endless resources, heavenly favor, and spiritual expansion that has no bounds. This is not merely an uplifting message, but a divine summons into the richness of your calling, a call that reaches deep into the marrow of your being and awakens the forgotten dreams, the hidden talents, the dormant authority that heaven is now bringing forth. The time of lack is over. The time of wondering if you're worthy is over. You have been seen, chosen, appointed, and set apart to walk in dimensions of favor that no eye has seen and no ear has heard. What you are entering into is not a temporary relief or fleeting joy, but a divine establishment, a planting in the garden of abundance where you will flourish like a tree by streams of living water, bearing fruit in every season. Your leaves will not wither, and whatever you do shall prosper, not because of human skill, but because of divine alignment. It is in this sacred alignment that the Spirit of God goes before you, unlocking pathways and revealing doors that no man can shut, while heavenly hosts are dispatched to ensure that every step you take is guided, shielded, and infused with the wisdom that builds lasting legacy. As the portal of heaven stands open over your life, what is being poured out is not just provision, but overflow. Not just answers, but divine strategy. Not just connections, but covenant relationships formed by the Spirit for your advancement. This is the unfolding of a divine narrative where you're not just receiving wealth for self, but wealth for purpose, healing for impact, wisdom for influence, and influence for transformation. As you embrace the fullness of what God is releasing, know that your obedience in hidden places, your perseverance through silent storms, and your prayers whispered in the dark have all risen as incense and now return to you as breakthrough and blessing. The glory that rests upon you will not be hidden for long, for this is the season where the hidden ones are being revealed, the forgotten ones remembered, and the faithful ones rewarded, not with trinkets, but with treasures of wisdom, prosperity, and supernatural supply. The Lord is establishing you in a realm where your name is being spoken in rooms of favor, where divine assignments are waiting to meet you, and where resources flow not because of striving, but because of surrender. The world will marvel not at your possessions, but at your peace, your generosity, your clarity, your undeniable grace, and the authority with which you walk into boardrooms, stages, homes, and nations. What you carry is not ego, but essence, not ambition, but anointing, not greed, but grace. Every resource released into your hands will multiply because it is blessed by the one who multiplies loaves and fishes, who still brings water from rocks and oil from empty jars. It is in this supernatural economy that your faith is not only preserved, but promoted, where the cycles of delay are broken and the atmosphere around your life shifts into alignment with God's original design. Every word spoken against your rise, every limitation placed on your potential, and every fear rooted in your past is now being dismantled by truth, infused by fire, and replaced with divine confidence and unwavering expectation. The Lord is not only preparing a table before you, but expanding your territory, stretching your tents, and enlarging your borders so that what flows to you may also flow through you as rivers of abundance that reach generations, bless cities, and change nations. This is not a time to shrink, but a time to expand, not a time to question if you are ready, but a time to declare that heaven has made you ready. Your story will not be one of struggle without purpose, but of overcoming with divine design, of victory born in intimacy, of wealth steward with wisdom. The mantle you carry is not a light thing, but a sacred assignment that carries the fragrance of heaven and the weight of glory. You have been entrusted with more because you remained faithful with less. You endured seasons of lack, not knowing they were training grounds for stewardship. You were tested in secret because your reward will be revealed in the open. Those who once doubted you, who once questioned your journey, will see the hand of God lift you in a way that silences every voice of accusation and gives glory to the one who raised you from the ashes and seated you among kings. It is in this divine elevation that you must remember: humility is your weapon, worship is your power, and stewardship is your testimony. What you carry cannot be wasted, for the world is waiting for what you were born to deliver. Every dream you thought had died, every vision you shelved out of fear or fatigue, is now being resurrected by the Spirit of life and breathed upon by the breath of heaven. Your season has shifted. What was barren will now bear fruit. What was delayed will now accelerate. What was blocked will now break open like rivers in the desert and highways in the wilderness. You will know that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the one who is faithful to the end, is also the God of your now, your here, your breakthrough, and your abundance. The land you are about to possess is filled with every resource, every strategy, and every provision required to complete the assignment written over your life before the foundations of the earth. Even now, the winds of transition are blowing, the whispers of destiny are echoing, and the signs of heaven are aligning to draw you deeper into the inheritance reserved for the faithful, the courageous, the surrendered, for the ones who never stopped believing even when nothing made sense. This faith, this audacity to keep trusting, will become the currency of the miraculous and the doorway to realms of favor you cannot explain, only experience. The sound of your praise will become the signal for breakthrough, and the rhythm of your obedience will become the foundation for divine construction. What you are building with your life, your voice, your vision, will not crumble, for it is built on the rock and anchored in eternity. Heaven itself rejoices over your alignment, and the angels celebrate every yes you whispered in the dark, every act of faith sown in silence, every moment of endurance offered as worship. Now, the time of seeing begins, the time of harvest begins, the time of acceleration begins, for what God has declared over your life shall come to pass, and what heaven has prepared shall manifest. Not because of who you are, but because of who He is. Yet within you, there is something He placed that bears His image, His promise, His light, and that light is rising now, illuminating everything around you. This is your sacred moment of divine abundance, the appointed hour when everything begins to shift in your favor, when grace flows without limit and heavenly wealth begins to overflow into every area of your life. Let these words live within you, for they are not merely sentences but sacred seeds, a prophetic declaration that your story will be marked by divine provision, supernatural favor, and limitless prosperity. I speak this truth into your reality. Your breakthrough is imminent, and what has been released from the throne of heaven over your life is unstoppable. Evidence of divine intervention is already surrounding you. If your spirit remains open, you will discern it in even the smallest signs, even when the world expects thunder and storm. For the Almighty often works through divine whispers, orchestrating overflow in ways the human mind cannot grasp. That sudden message, that unexpected encounter, the closed door that spared you from harm, the inspired idea that lit up your thoughts. These are not coincidences, but glimpses of a God who is near, guiding your path toward expansion, growth, and increase. Heaven is whispering through every detail. I am here, working tirelessly for your prosperity. Just hold on a little longer. When I say it is on its way, it means it has already left my throne. It moves swiftly, and no earthly power can reverse what I have decreed over your life. Fear may try to seep through the cracks left by fatigue and disappointment. But remember, Your faith carries great force in the spiritual realm. Your perseverance, your devotion, your choice to keep trusting, these are all measured in heaven, and none of your sacrifices have gone unseen. My beloved child, this moment is not a random one. It is divinely orchestrated. You found this message because you were destined to receive it. In my kingdom, nothing happens without purpose. Today, I revive your hope, fill your spirit with strength, and remind you of who you are and, most of all, to whom you belong. Even if your heart is weary, your mind burdened, and your strength waning, know this: my plans for your life are still alive. They are immense, filled with increase, and ready to erupt like a divine storm that clears the past and makes way for the extraordinary. And when this storm passes, the light that follows will shine brighter than ever before. I'm cleansing the atmosphere around you and ushering in a time of celebration and divine joy. You will stand in awe as you witness the transformation I have prepared. Your surroundings will radiate beauty, clarity, and the richness of my favor. Envision the heavens opening above you, not with a gentle drizzle, but with a mighty waterfall of blessings, wealth, wisdom, healing, divine strategies, and supernatural direction. These blessings won't overwhelm you. They will lift you. They won't confuse you. They'll bring clarity. They won't delay you. They'll accelerate your divine purpose. And I do this not just because you prayed, but because I delight in your prosperity. You are my child, and I take joy in seeing you thrive. You will begin to see opportunities where none seemed possible. Prosperity-bearing ideas will come alive within you. People will enter your life as vessels of my favor and provision. What once felt stuck will flow, and what seemed small will multiply beyond expectation. For I, your God, am breathing a fresh wind upon you, a wind of renewal, of honor, and of supernatural new beginnings. But before this new season fully unfolds, I ask only one thing: believe again. Trust me beyond your own understanding. Listen to my voice louder than the noise of fear. I know the waiting has been painful. I know delays have tired your soul. But now is the turning point. And when I declare a new beginning, no one can reverse it. You will no longer budget based on lack or downsize your dreams out of fear. From now on, you will plan by faith, expand your vision, and boldly receive all that I am placing into your hands. Prepare yourself for divine overflow. This is your appointed time to rise, to walk with boldness, and to step into the heavenly plan that has always been designed for you. The area of your life that brought you the most sorrow will become the source of your greatest joy. Where you fell, you will now rise with double strength, because I am the one who turns mourning into dancing, who clothes the humble in honor, who raises the last to the front. And when doubt attempts to draw you back, return to this message. Let it anchor your soul. Let it remind you that this day is no ordinary day. It is a divine shift marking your before and after. Every word spoken here is a living promise rooted in eternity. My word never returns void. It accomplishes everything I send it to do. And when the blessings begin to pour in, and they will, receive them with a thankful heart. Steward every gift with honor, understanding that each one is not only a reward but a sacred assignment. Never forget, you are blessed to be a blessing. Prosperity flows to you so that it can flow through you. Even in your time of abundance, keep a generous heart. Keep giving. Give your time, your wisdom, your love. For in giving, you unlock even greater dimensions of receiving. That is the true path to fullness. And if these words have stirred your soul, do not keep them to yourself. Someone near you needs this light. Share it. Pass it on. Heaven moves when we carry its message. Today, I have entrusted you with a revelation of breakthrough, a glimpse into divine timing, a release of heaven's prosperity for this very hour. Receive it, liven it, and never look back. Motion Energy is a product that can quickly eliminate arthritis and osteochondrosis pain. It eliminates muscle spasm and inflammation. Motion Energy is also effective in the treatment of osteochondrosis and osteoarthritis because it slows the process of degeneration of cartilage tissue and improves its metabolism. promoting the regeneration of articular cartilage. The positive effect can be seen after the first application. If used regularly, joint and spinal diseases stop their progression. I left the link of the official website below in the description of this video, and I fixed in the comments. These are 3 divine revelations, profound spiritual insights that, when embraced with a receptive heart, have the power to unlock unprecedented levels of prosperity, abundance, and divine advancement in your life. The first revelation flows directly from the wisdom of Jesus and is found in Luke 16, where he shares the parable of the faithful steward. In this story, a wealthy master entrusts his resources to a steward who, aware that he will one day give an account, begins to act with vision, reverence, and integrity. He manages what has been placed in his hands with care, knowing that the master will return and examine his stewardship. This principle unveils a profound truth. Our time on earth is temporary, and everything we possess, our resources, health, talents, relationships, opportunities, and time, is a sacred investment placed into our hands by God. We are not owners, but divine stewards of spiritual and material riches. And when this revelation takes root in our spirit, our entire perspective transforms. A faithful steward wastes nothing sacred. They live with intention. They honor every blessing received, and they understand that faithfulness in small things is the secret key that opens the door to overflowing abundance. Jesus was not merely speaking of money, but of every divine gift entrusted to you. Your voice, your influence, your creativity, your calling, and your power to be a blessing to others. Many cry out for more without realizing that heaven multiplies only what is cherished and honored. Faithfulness is not proven through grand gestures, but through daily acts of obedience, by being grateful for what others overlook, by fulfilling duties with honesty, by planting seeds even when it requires sacrifice, and by nurturing the home you have today, even if it is not yet the palace you dream of. This posture invites divine favor, activates supernatural increase, and ushers in a new season of financial growth, spiritual depth, and personal elevation already prepared by God for your destiny. The parable reminds us that accountability is inevitable. The day will come when the Master returns, not merely to assess if we attended religious services, but to look us in the eyes and ask what we did with the life, the talents, and the immeasurable potential he deposited within us. Did you serve your family with love? Did you invest your time in meaningful actions? Did you multiply the little you had, even when it seemed insignificant? The truth is, most dreams go unrealized not because of lack, but because of fear, hesitation, or self-doubt. But here lies a liberating revelation. God does not demand perfection. He seeks willing hearts. Those who act in faith, who sow with expectation, who put vision into action and refuse to bury their gifts, are the ones he elevates and entrusts with greater responsibility. If you desire a breakthrough in your finances, your purpose, or your divine calling, begin by honoring what is already in your possession. Treat the small as sacred. Be excellent in the unseen places. Make wise choices in silent moments. Heaven is watching, and heaven responds. And when God sees a heart anchored in faithfulness, he releases growth, multiplies opportunities, and entrusts you with greater assignments, for you have proven spiritual maturity. Do you want to experience a life filled with abundance and prosperity under divine grace? Then join this faith community and allow heavenly blessings to transform your journey. By becoming a member of the channel, you will receive an exclusive prayer every week to attract prosperity into your home and strengthen your daily growth. Be part of this powerful prayer chain that has already positively impacted many lives. Click the Join button and take the first step toward the fullness that God has prepared for you. We invite you to plant a symbolic seed of faith in this channel, not out of obligation, but as a genuine act of trust in divine abundance. Your contribution, no matter how small, will be a reflection of your heart, an offering aligned with the spiritual law of giving and receiving. The second revelation is just as essential and speaks directly to the soil of your inner life. It is found in Matthew 13, the parable of the sower, a divine metaphor of seed and soil. Jesus illustrates how the same powerful seed, full of potential, falls on different types of soil, yet only one yields a harvest. The difference was never the seed, it was the soil. This truth holds extraordinary power. Many blame external factors, a preacher, a season, or life circumstances, but the real determinant is the condition of the heart. God has already released His word, and the seed of abundance has been planted. Yet a heart overwhelmed by distraction, hardened by fear, or choked by anxiety cannot produce lasting fruit. If you desire to experience divine multiplication, peace that expands, ideas that flourish, finances that grow, then allow the Holy Spirit to purify the ground within you. Let Him remove the thorns of bitterness, jealousy, comparison, and self-doubt. Let Him soften the hardened areas of pride and resistance. Make room in your soul so the Word can take deep root. A heart that is teachable, humble, and open will experience a harvest that exceeds all human calculation, 30, 60, even 100-fold. This is the divine economy, where spiritual wealth gives rise to material blessing, and where divine revelation unlocks doors that no man can shut. But such growth is reserved for those willing to learn, to expand, to align their spirit with God's direction, and to act without delay. God longs to release favor, provision, and divine expansion into your life, but only hearts that are prepared can carry the weight of such glory.